Hi, and welcome to another edition of NanaVision. Today's guest is Dan DeClerico. Dan's not only a homeowner, but he's also an industry veteran. He knows how to renovate homes, he understands products, he understands how the industry works. But one of the things we're going to talk about today is what Dan went through and the positive outcomes of the renovation of his Brooklyn brownstone. So welcome, Dan, and thanks for joining NanaVision today.
Hey, Matt. Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
And today we just wanted to talk about what you went through with your renovation and give the viewers here some insight of what you experienced.
Yeah. So it's a 3-story brownstone. It was built in the 19th century, 1882, I believe. When we bought it, the rental unit was on the top floor and an owner's duplex below. So our plan was to basically flip it around to create a garden rental unit and take over the top 2 floors. It's got beautiful tall ceilings, 10, 11-foot ceilings, tons of light on those 2 floors. So with the parlor, turn that into the kitchen kind of living area, and then have the bedrooms on the top 2 floors. But I mean, the end result is absolutely, incredible. It's everything. It's really everything we hope for. It's not everything we imagined, because it really did evolve. The project evolved, and we can talk more about that. But it's certainly everything we hoped for.
So the goal was to create what? Create a family-centered area out of what was a bedroom. And you moved some things around while maintaining the existing charm of the, as you said, the old brownstone built in the 1800s.
Yeah. So this, the parlor level and the, specifically the back, the back of the house there, that's really the focal point, the heart of the home, if you will. So that, that's where the kitchen is. But yes, that had been my daughter's bedroom. The initial plan was to have, basically French doors leading from the kitchen onto the back terrace. But as as the work got underway and some of the demo work, our contractor ended up having to really take out that whole wall. And as soon as my wife saw all that natural light flooding into this space, she really fell in love with this idea of a full glass wall. And that led to one of the biggest arguments. I sometimes joke that the solution, the NanaWall that we ended up doing, actually saved my marriage, which is maybe a little bit of hyperbole. But we really butted heads on this point because I didn't want to sacrifice the L-shaped kitchen and end up with what I thought would be a really cramped galley-style kitchen, which we would have had to do if we went with the full back wall of glass. That's sort of where we sort of landed on the idea of the NanaWall solution.
So here you are in this urban environment, going through a pandemic, yet where other people have fled the city and gone off to the countryside to have that outdoor space, you're able to have that outside environment for your kids, your family, for you to enjoy most of the time when it's not too cold out, and of course during those great summer months.
Absolutely, it's been an absolute savior through the pandemic. I sometimes joke we don't have a country house, but we have a NanaWall. So it's the next best thing, or it's just as good.
So let's get back to talking about the kitchen. How did creating that back wall of expansive light affect the overall kitchen design? You said a moment ago that, there was a tug of war going on between, ideals of what you wanted versus, say, your wife wanted. I mean, how did everything come together? And are you happy with the outcome?
Yeah. So again, it really provided the perfect compromise because, I do most of the cooking here. So I was very close to the kitchen design, and my vision was always being at the kitchen sink and being able to look out over the backyard. So, the NanaWall really allowed us to have the best of both worlds. Honestly, I mean, I call it sort of the masterpiece of the whole renovation. And, there's a lot of things that I'm proud about, the end result here, but nothing more than, than this piece. And, anytime somebody comes over for the first time, they're just blown away by it. It really is a showstopper.
And now, you mentioned early on the importance of having a good team in your back pocket. Here at NanaWall, we always stress the importance of a good architect or a good design build person who has experience to guide you through that. Even an industry veteran like yourself, like you said in an article I read, that you've swung the hammer before, it's still good to have someone with different perspectives to understand how to get through this process.
Yeah, team chemistry and getting all the players involved from the get-go, it's really important. With the NanaWall, we actually ended up using one of your installers. Again, for that reason, I think my contractor probably could have handled it, but why not get the guy who's, done this 50, 100, 200, 500 times before to come and take care of it. So, it's going to work perfectly.
Tell me about some of the family life. You've got 2 children. We see in the photos here, they're relatively young. So, tell me a little about how, the past summer and fall went being locked down under a pandemic. Any interesting stories?
The socialization, as we can all remember, back to middle school and grade school. I mean, being around other kids it's essential. So for them to be able to sit outside at a table, there's enough room out there where they can have a friend or 2 over. They can be a few feet apart, and it's been a lifesaver. I don't know what we would have done, without it. And not exaggerating there. It's really helped us get through this, this pretty challenging time.
Now it's January, and one of the things that we like to stress is that when a wall is open, the wall's open. Any system can be open, but when that wall is closed is when the product differentiates itself. How have you felt during the winter, the past 2 or 3 winters that you've had this installed? Does the outside stay outside? The cold stays outside?
Yeah, it's every bit it's as if you're standing against a insulated wall. That's kind of the magic of it. I mean, when you're or sitting over on the steps there, it feels like you're outside, but you can be in a t-shirt in the dead of winter. And I mean, that's really the beauty of it. It's really an incredible experience.
What you have is what we call our kitchen transition product, which is full height doors, but then those kitchen uh, windows that are above the sink completely open too. So you can pass food through, dishes, drinks, as you noted, whatever it may be, and also work in the kitchen while maintaining contact with everyone out there.
Yeah, it's great. This house is awesome for entertaining. Again, I can't wait until we can have a full house again, because it works so well on that level.
Excellent. Well, thanks for being on the show today. We appreciate all your insight. I'm sure there's other homeowners even right there in New York City that would be considering a renovation like yours and can learn from your experience.
I would recommend it to anyone, truly. So thanks for having me. So this was fun chatting.
All right. Thanks, Dan.